you basically, the whole premise of the book is you're reverse engineering your end goal, right? And walk us through that path a little bit as you try to, as an entrepreneur, in trying to reverse engineer their exit. And as you know, some people say, "Oh, I don't ever want to sell my company." You will exit your company somehow, right? You
Yeah.
can't run it forever. Whether
Right.
that's going to be an exit, health reasons, you pass away, something's going to happen, and you're going to need to exit your business. Now, ideally,
Yeah.
you want to do that on your own terms. So, can you walk us through kind of that reverse engineering path?
Yeah, for the longest time, people would call and we'd just give them the valuation, tell them ballpark what we think their business is worth. And I was on a call with somebody else on the team where he just flat out said, "How much do you want to sell your business for?" And that person answered the question, and then we reverse engineered how to get to that value. Oh my goodness, I've been doing this wrong the whole time. And the fact of the matter is, setting goals makes a difference. 80% of people that set goals, hit them, as opposed to those people that don't set any goals. You'll be more successful in life with actual goal setting. So the same is true in the eventual exit of your business. I think if you pick a number and say, okay, I want to sell my business for X dollars, you need to do that, and then you need to figure out exactly where you are today so that you can reverse engineer a path to it. If you want to sell for $10 million, you need to know what your current discretionary earnings are and what your growth rate is, and that way you can see how quickly you'll get to that exit, or how slowly, or what you need to fix in the business. So go into that a great deal in the book, what you need to fix and adjust to make it more attractive to buyers, because there's so much detail that goes into what buyers want. You've got to adjust it and fix it in order to achieve your goal.
Why do you think entrepreneurs don't take this kind of planning stage seriously? It seems like people are so, for the most part, people want to sell their business, and all of a sudden they want to sell it now rather
Yeah.
than actually planning this out. Why don't people plan it a little further out? Is it they're just so busy building their own business, or do they not want to know what their business is worth, because if they do know, then they have to like face the facts? Why is that?
Yeah. I think there's a stigma associated with brokers, first of all. I think they're afraid to call them because they think they're salespeople and going to get talked into something that they don't want to do. And we've just tried very hard to get rid of that stigma, because we're helping, we're advising, and that's the point of the book, is to give someone almost everything that they need to really get a decent understanding of the value of their business. But the fact of the matter is that people don't want to do exit planning, right? I don't want to call it that. It's not that. It just makes somebody's eyes bleed, and they're like, whatever, I'll get to that someday. And the problem with that mentality is you're going to wake up and someday's here, and then it's going to be too late, and you're not going to be able to maximize the value of your exit. You're going to have to wait another year or two in order to truly get that maximum value. So I look at it as training, Ryan. If you're going to go out and run a 5K, if you're going to do a marathon, triathlon, whatever you're going to do, and you want to do it well, you got to train for it. Yes, you can wake up and you could probably run a 5K. You might finish it. You might have to walk a little bit. It's going to be very uncomfortable and painful. And then when you're done, for a few days after, right, that recovery period, it's going to hurt. It's the same with your business. If you want to exit well and you want to get maximum value, you've got to train for that exit. And that's what the book is all about. It's giving you all the training tools to understand what you need to do, what brings value, what plummets value, how to calculate discretionary earnings. It's all in there. It's all been out there in the internet world, on different pieces and places all over the place, in individual conversations. The problem is that half that information is wrong. So now it's all in one place. It's all your toolkit. It's all your training manual, if you will, to get prepared for that exit on your own time, right? You could just flip through the book and get inspired and get motivated, and excited, because once you set that goal, and then you understand where you are today, those terrible days that we all have as entrepreneurs, those terrible weeks and months, they get a little easier, because you've got the end in sight. Even if you get to that goal and then you say, you know what, I got this thing in such great working order. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to push it. I'm going to push the goalpost down a little bit. I'm going to wait another 6 months or 12 months or 5 years. I don't want a $5 million exit anymore. I want a $10 million exit, because you're running the business more efficiently and you understand that the value, the biggest part of the value, might be in the exit.
I've seen several people try to prepare their business. They're in over their heads. They don't have any systems in place. They want to sell their business. It's not really a transferable business. You can't sell that business. But what happens is, over the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months, they put in all the right processes and systems in place to all of a sudden they're not working 60, 70 hours a week. They're working 10 and they don't
Yeah.
want to sell the business anymore.
Right.
So part of that's actually like, you're making your life a lot better too.
I've seen that a lot. I've seen that a lot. If you do the math too, think about transactions. Average transaction size might be 1.5 million. If you really just do the simple math. So the percentage of entrepreneurs that I've spoken to that eventually went on and sold their business is incredibly small. And it's because they weren't prepared. They didn't have the basics of a profit and loss statement. They didn't have accrual accounting. Their business was not transferable, or it was trending down and it wasn't going to meet their financial goals, or something that was wrong with the business or something wrong with them that they didn't prepare properly. They couldn't achieve their goal. They worked their butt off bootstrapping this thing and trying like crazy to turn their side hustle into a full-time gig, and then but didn't think about anything about except top line revenue, and didn't get all the bits and pieces in there that needed to be in the right place in the right columns in order to make it attractive to buyers.